Hi, sweeties. How are you doing? Welcome to Naya Sim, and thank you all so much for all the love and support. Hope you all are doing great. Sincerely speaking, P Diddy is really in deep mess, and that is the reality so far now. The fact that a lot of people knew something like this was going on between him and Cassie and kept quiet. I hope you all are happy. And the fact that when Cassie actually brought something like this up, a lot of people were asking for proof. Do you know what it means like for someone that is being abused to come out with proof? I mean, trying to live that life again. That is something some people find so hard to understand. Now let's get into this. The fact that Diddy did something like this to Cassie. Cassie was not a smart baby. You all understand this. She was also she was also in the entertainment industry with him, and he did this to that young lady. And a lot of people really do not believe that. We really owe Cassie a lot of so many apologies. And this also, I am saying that there should or there might be other people hiding in the background that he has done something like this to, and nobody's speaking up. And you all already know there are so many things, so many rumors, so many horrible rumors surrounding P. Diddy and also underage. Now, let me say this as an entertainer or as a top-notch entertainer, there are some things you will never want to do because it will eventually come back continue. Let's get into this video.
Appears to corroborate some of the allegations of abuse against music mogul Sean Diddy Combs.
Trigger warning for anybody that watches this new leaked Diddy and Cassie video that's coming out. It's one thing to know about something happening, it's a whole nother thing to actually witness it happen. And not that I'm shocked and surprised at anything that I am witnessing or seeing, especially from somebody like Diddy, and not because it's Diddy, but because of the industry and the system that Diddy exists in. The music industry, entertainment industry is by nature exploitative, and anything that's designed on exploitation will always yield predatory behavior. And not only that, it also attracts predators and those looking to exploit. Any system or structure that is designed that way, in order to even be elevated or lift, you must exploit, will breed predators. And like I said, will attract predators to go to. That's why there's a large amount of predatory behavior within the entertainment industry. And the reason that it's so hard for us to see is because we're so distracted by the gold covered shit. Because we've been indoctrinated to think that moving up in a system of exploitation is somehow a good thing, not recognizing the predatory nature that is needed for that to happen, okay? When I see something like this, I am not shocked and surprised, because in an environment that is built on exploitation of those that are vulnerable, I will always not only assume, presume, but also expect 100% predators will be in there. Predators will be in there abusing those that are most vulnerable within that system and structure, doing the things that abusers and predators do. And women in these systems and structures and industries will be the most vulnerable compared to the men in those places. And because the predatory nature is already there in the structure of exploitation, it adds in another power dynamic of gender within that exploitative system that will also transfer and develop into predatory abusive behaviors, whether the abuse be physical, financial, or sexual. It will always show its face, because in fact the system and structure of that industry, you will find predatory behavior, because in fact that's the only way that those systems and structures can exist. I think what we're coming into and recognizing that maybe we shouldn't be putting these structures and systems on pedestals to be something that we should want to achieve, because in actuality what we're saying we want to achieve is to ourselves also become predatory and abusive, because that's the only way that you can exist in these systems and structures. What exactly are we looking up to in systems and structures that are designed and built for abuse? On the DV aspect of this, it's very fucking sad to see with this situation with Diddy and Cassie. We have to observe and understand that this is not just their story. This is repeated over and over again within this entertainment industry. And that is in fact because it only survives by abuse, exploitation, and predatory behavior. Okay, have a nice day.
Can people stop saying they're only doing this to Diddy because he's black? I'm gonna just to stop that, okay? Stop saying things like, oh, they wouldn't do this to him if he was a white man, because are we all new here? Because duh, okay? Are we supposed to be shocked and surprised? I don't understand what people are saying, like it's not fair, because look at Nickelodeon, Dan Schneider and shit. I agree it's not fair, but not fair to Diddy, okay? It's not fair to the victims of Dan Schneider, Nickelodeon, the other white people that do violent and harmful shit to people and get away with it. The victims of those crimes, that's who it's not fair to. And let's not not forget that these things that they're accusing Diddy of to raid his house are not non-violent crimes, okay? This is harmful shit that he did to other black people too, exploited and physically harmed, okay? Do they not matter as black people, to be treated fairly and have justice when they are harmed? We're looking at this situation in a skewed kind of way. And I think it's because people, especially Diddy and other folks like R. Kelly and even Kanye, and maybe we need to go back and remember that line that he dropped, okay, in College Dropout. Even if you in a Benz, you still in a coupe, okay? You cannot black capitalism yourself out of blackness, my dude. Because at the end of the day, they gonna come for you. You cannot black capitalize yourself out of black, okay? You cannot use the same screws that your oppressor used to screw you to screw your home boo. You cannot use the same screws that your oppressor used to screw you to screw your home boo. Because at the end of the day, you're gonna get screwed. Okay, you're gonna get screwed. Okay, you're gonna get screwed because they're gonna come for you. Especially you're doing some crack ass, wild ass, violent ass, nut ass shit in that home. And I'm not saying that he shouldn't be screwed. Because at the end of the day, I care more for the people he harmed than whatever the fuck he got going on. And I think the reason, by the way, that people don't see the people that are being harmed by Diddy's behavior as worthy of talking about what's fair and what's not fair, and to understand that they deserve justice, is because they don't find them to have value. It's because the system has taught you to only value black people that have reached some sort of status quo, whether financially or palatable, for you to give a fuck about. It's also shown that it's also perpetuated within our system and communities to not give a fuck about victims and protect the predators, by the way, because the predators always hold some sort of hierarchical position of power above those people that are being victimized, which is very, very dangerous. And I don't care how much you gain or how much you grow, whatever power position you think you are in said system, if you got there by exploiting and harming black people, I don't give a fuck if you get knocked the fuck down that tower any kind of way in a raid. You're not doing anything for said black community if you are harming black people, okay? You're just not. Okay, you're just being a Mansa Musa ass motherfucker at the end of the day. And if we want to know how that ends, you can go ahead and look at my leg on the continent, okay? It don't go the way people think it's gonna go just because you're rising in black capital, okay? It is still their system at the end of the day. And the white men that do crazy ass shit, I promise you, no matter how high you grow in that system, you can't do the same. And you shouldn't be, by the way. Because like I said, these are not victimless crimes. People got harmed by what this motherfucker did. The same way people got harmed by Dan Schneider, which y'all trying to compare that shit to. But y'all trying to use it as an excuse for Diddy stealing ass. When you should be thinking about the victims of these white men that don't get to have justice. That's what people should be speaking to, okay? Because the black people that got exploited by Mr. Diddly ass and got hurt by him deserve justice. They matter, regardless of whatever the white men told you of their status of value. Whether that is not wearing bonnets, being palatable, or being black capitalist, okay? So like I said, there is no way for you to capitalize yourself out of black, and you cannot use the same screws that your oppressor used to screw you to build your home, boo. Because at the end of the day, you're doing some nut ass shit in that home, guess what? You're gonna end up screwed. Like Diddy, you're gonna end up screwed. And I believe on protection of the black community, that your ass should. Okay? Have a nice day. The only thing money buys you as a black capitalist in this system to do some fuck shit is time. Because eventually they will come for you. And if you're hurting black people to get to that buck, trust me, when they do, I don't give a fuck.
That Diddy video just broke my heart, man. The way he just dragged that girl through that hallway and was kicking her, that's somebody's daughter. That's somebody's daughter that y'all was in the comments laughing at and trying to make light of the situation, talking about she was just doing it for a money grab. $30 million was not enough. Because if that's what he was doing to her, then in the open in the hallway where somebody could have easily came out of that elevator, imagine what he was doing to her in that room. Imagine what he was doing to her throughout from 2005 to 2019. That shit is so crazy to even, like, of course, I believed her from the jump because at the end of the day, we know the accusations that's been against this man for decades. For one, it breaks my heart in the sense of knowing that she had to go through that and had to sit up there and smile in front of them cameras and act like everything was cool. But it also kind of, it makes me happy for her that she got away. For one, she got a new husband that really didn't play about her. He been on his neck since they've been together. If y'all remember, he stayed on his story dissing Diddy. And on top of that, like, she got a baby. She has a happy family now. And I pray that Cassie has found some peace after that situation, because I can only imagine the trauma. Like I said, that's somebody's daughter. That's a woman getting kicked on, getting dragged by a grown-ass man, vases being thrown at her. Shit like that'll never sit right with me, G. And people in the comments, it make me really understand how fickle the internet is, because y'all was just so quick, hee hee ha ha. Now y'all trying to backtrack, and now y'all trying to make it a serious note just because you finally seen it. It shouldn't take for you to have to see it. It's fucked up, man.
Of course, I want Diddy under the jail. Anybody that would dare try to make excuses for him, who would try to associate themselves with him, I think should be canceled. What he did was reprehensible, vile, disgusting, despicable. But I just saw this article from Pe0ple magazine where it says that Diddy paid the security team $50,000 for that video in 2016. So for the person who had that video the whole time, did the money run out? Did you try to ask him for more and he didn't give it to you, and that's why you finally put it out? You could have saved that woman years of what you already saw was abuse. The people who sit around and watch people get abused, and here they come 20, 30 years later, like the situation with Aaliyah. People who heard things and allegedly saw things, now they want to start talking about it. Now you want to talk about what you saw R. Kelly do. Now you want to talk about what you heard Bill Cosby do. Now you want to talk about how you knew about Kevin Spacey, allegedly. Like the people who knew. And then, now all of a sudden they want to come forward. Those people are not heroes. They enabled those people to continue the cycle of abuse by not saying or doing anything. $50,000, that's all it took to sell her out?
Hey, to all of the black guys, right, that was on this app bashing Cassie for her wanting to file that lawsuit against Diddy, and they were sitting here saying, oh my God, you know, what is up with these women coming out 10 years later filing lawsuits? It's so corny, it's so cringe, get a job, all you do is coming out for money, and all of the black women who are the pick-meshas too. Yeah, you guys better owe Cassie an apology, because the receipts is out. That man beat the brakes off that woman, trigger warning. And that's just one video. Can you imagine how many other videos there are of this man putting hands on women, bro? Y'all gotta run that woman her apology now. If he wasn't cooked before, he is fried now. No coming back, bro. No coming back. You had your crib raided. You know, the amount of no Diddy jokes, like people don't even call you P. Diddy or Puff Daddy no more. We just say no Diddy now. And now they got you in 4K. You know what I'm saying? Like putting hands on your ex-girlfriend 8 years ago in 4K. There's no redeeming. There's no coming back. The official end to Sean Puffy Combs is finally here. You had a great run, man. You had a great run. But karma don't play, bro. And karma comes to collect every single time.
Thank goodness I've got a hair appointment today. Anywho, if you're wondering why I haven't spoken on the Diddy video, or if you're wondering what happened to the Diddy video that I uploaded, TikTok took it down and gave me a strike on my account. They took down my video, gave me a strike, even though there are thousands of people sharing the video and talking about the situation on TikTok. If you want to hear my thoughts on the video, you can go over to my other platforms. The video is up over there. This is exactly why I refuse to give TikTok 30-minute videos. And yet they continue to send me these notices reminding me that I could do 30-minute videos. I wouldn't do it because they frivolously take down videos when the same video is up all over their platform. They mute videos frivolously. They heavily suppress videos of black content creators. Yeah, I wouldn't give TikTok that type of time. But yes, I did do a video on the situation. And if you saw the video, I mentioned in that video that I was going to be paying attention to see what 50 Cent had to say about the situation. Well, 50 Cent has had some things to say about the situation. Petty 50 reposted Diddy's statement that he put out once the allegations started to come out and all of the lawsuits started to come out. 50 reposted Diddy's statement and then captioned it saying, "The lie detector test has determined this was a lie." Maury vibes. 50 has also posted this. 50 shared the video and captioned it. Now, I'm sure Puffy didn't do it. He is innocent. This proves nothing. This is what his lawyers are going to say. God help us all. Now, I got to say, that was kind of light. I expected more from 50. But, yeah, Diddy is done. And may anybody who was around him that knew what was going on, who enabled him to treat people this way, because it just wasn't Cassie. It was Kim Porter. It was whoever was before her. And it was whoever was after Cassie. For people to still be around him, defending him, and enabling him, may they get their comeuppance too.
So, this video is for all of you all who were capping for Sean Combs, P. Diddy, whatever the hell his name is, in his lawsuit with Cassie Ventura, talking about she didn't have any serious evidence and she was just after money and he never did anything to her. I can't seem to find those videos right now, and I've looked, but I digress. Well, let's take a look at some video that is so bad that I have to literally blur it out for TikTok. This is how Sean Combs beats Cassie Ventura in an LA hotel in the hallway with a towel wrapped around him. Now, there's no sound to this video because it is the actual video from the hotel cameras, which I wonder where has it been all this time, but I digress. But let's have a look. Now, as I told you, there's no sound here, but there's Sean Combs running with a towel wrapped around him, and Cassie is trying to get on the elevator, and he kicks her and still holds the towel on him, picks her things up, and then proceeds to drag her around the corner back to the hotel room. So now we're going to pick up with the video with Cassie coming back out the room to use the phone in the hallway, and here he comes again. He sits down with just a towel on. Yeah, he threw something at her off the table in the hotel lobby as she was trying to call for help. Yeah, so tag me in some of those videos where you all were capping for Sean Combs. I'll wait.
Video, which is traumatizing but needed to be shared because two things can be true at once. But my issue is with all the people that want to come out and issue apologies now after saying they needed to see proof. And all of y'all that are like, wow, I can't believe this. He's done. We've gotten to a point where as a society, y'all are so messed up that you need to see someone getting brutalized to believe them, specifically a black woman. Y'all were literally on the internet saying we need to see proof. Do y'all realize how traumatizing it is for the person who's being abused to have to relive that trauma by posting the video for y'all to believe her? And let's not forget, he settled rather than taking it to court in 24 hours. And y'all still didn't believe it. At this point, y'all might as well be
So this is all I got from the situation. And sincerely speaking, there has been a lot of, should I say, rumor, gossips, and so many things surrounding Diddy, you know, from last month or last 2 months. I mean, it has been a lot of stories flying around. And I don't know if I am surprised that this actually surfaced online, But I really think that people owe Cassie a lot, so many apologies, because that young lady actually said it, from the onset. As a black woman, people doubted her sincerity and probably thinking that she wanted to make some money off Diddy. And when that actually came out online and Diddy actually settled within 24 hours, should have been enough reasons for people to look into that story. But yet, I mean, people still did not want to because it's Diddy. There is something that I found out about oppressors. They always have a lot of power to protect them. Then the people that are being oppressed are the ones to start suffering and the rest of it. It is really traumatizing, and I am very, very happy that this is being shared and people are saying it. And I hope people are ready to apologize because to Cassie, because she really was trying to pass a message across to us, but I think a lot of people like waved it aside because you all already know Diddy. Diddy had got so much power and influence. He's a man of influence and affluence at the same time. And that actually took a lot of people's eyes and all out of it and all that. And for people to see someone being brutalized and still looking for evidence, especially when it's a black woman, they are looking for proof, like evidence to see how, see proof, if really it happened or not. If only we knew how traumatizing it is for someone that is going through, especially domestic abuse or is in a violent relationship, to actually come out with proof or knowing that people do not believe her story and trying to come out with proof because people really needed that proof. And it's just like she having to really live that trauma again. That is really very horrifying and all that because a lot of people refuse to believe her. And I am going to say this. I think it's really time we start standing up for ourselves because there is something that I believe. If you can't stand up for yourself, nobody will. It's only when you stand up for yourself, other people will be able to stand up for you, right? I know it is hard, very hard living a traumatizing experience or living an abuser because there are so many things. I don't know why people find it very hard to live an abuser, but I think it's high time people start speaking up because when you are staying or dating an abuser, I want you to know that your life is in danger because it's a matter of life and death. You may survive it, you may not survive it. And it is only when you survive it that you live to tell the story. But if you do not survive it, he tells the story. Does that make sense? I really don't want to imagine what Cassie went through that day because seeing a huge man hitting and doing all that to a young lady, that alone is really horrifying. I watched the video and I don't know. I really do find it very hard watching like violent videos and all that. And I closed my eyes because the hitting was so hard. It was so bad that a full grown up man. See, there is something I want to say, and this is mostly for anyone that is going to be in spotlight, especially celebrity and all that. There is a stage in your life that you get to that you really do not need to involve. No, it doesn't really matter stage. As you keep growing as human being and you really love yourself so much, you believe in yourself so much, and you are working so hard to attain a particular goal in your life, there are some things you should never ever do. Why? Because it's if you do it, it might take 100 years. It's gonna come back haunting you. And I am going to say this for mostly men that there is nothing, especially when you are in the spotlight. I mean, you are in an entertainment industry. It's more like it's your world because you are well known. Everybody knows you. People adore you. A lot of people love you. That is not a great time to go around doing some certain things. Well, especially going around underage, especially doing some nasty things, especially being violent. That is not a good time because sometimes most men, especially, do some certain things and think they will get away with it because of the influence. Excuse me. Because of the influence and affluence at that point in time. Forgetting that as we keep growing, there are other people with so much influence and of affluence. I mean, a lot of people are growing. There are so many bourgeois and all that. A lot is changing. And the person you probably abuse today that you think she will never speak up might actually have or gather the strength tomorrow to come back for you. So you might do yourself a great favor, right? And desist from some certain things. You are not doing it. You are only doing it for yourself, for your longevity, for your growth, and for the well-being of yourself. You might not know what you because there are also so many people in the industry that do not have a lot of scandal. You will never hear their name when anything that got to do with scandal comes up. It takes a lot of discipline. And the earlier we acknowledge that, the better for us. See you all in my next video. Bye for now.